I'm going to start from the position that all of us, one way or another, if you think about it, as you get these little anecdotes we're going to start off with, all of us have been exposed to sustainability. We've been asked to advise clients. We've found it affecting our lives directly or indirectly, right across our businesses. What we haven't done is sort of consciously brought that to the surface and said, what does it mean? We all have shareholders somewhere who, while they all think this is really nice to do and sometimes good to do and sometimes necessary to do, and if they're millennials, see it as part of their world, they also say, what's the cost? Where does all this stuff break out?
I do believe that we talk about big initiatives for clients, we talk about the opportunity for Inspire, we talk about how we're going to help guide our clients and how we line up to our clients' CSR and sustainability measures. But I think it really has to start at the individual level. Our world is grassroots, right? We have to walk the walk. But it is not uniform across our company here, and I think so. If we are going to in fact change the way in which clients look at CSR, we have to walk the walk, and we have to carry around recyclable containers. We have to do things that in our everyday lives are representative of belief that we carry and will push to our clients. So position heal thyself. I mean, it's a practice we all need to do better at. But if we can start there, I think we can then be authentic. Yes, a personal interest of mine is to improve the everyday sustainability of the people who work here.
Most of my work originally was for oil and gas, pulp and paper, mining companies, so I've been sort of viewing this world from a somewhat different spectrum than from the consumer view. So to me, that for us, taking a broader view than just the consumer is an important way to look at it, right? The consumer certainly is one piece of the pie here, and but the consumer is drowned in noise around this space, right? And helping consumers sift their way through that's an important part of it. I think, to your point, the ROI can be found in the financial community. The amount of money now under management has moved beyond sort of a niche of sustainable, responsible investing to mainstream investing. And companies that get it right in that space actually have greater access to capital, better performance on Wall Street. So there actually are pretty meaningful ROI measures that we can look at to help clients get it right.
There's a stereotype that sustainability is all about environment and just the green issues, and I think the broadening of the trilogy you used, and the idea that it's human issues, it's just responsibility overall, it's not just about environment. We had the wave as a digital company several years ago, 5-10 years ago, where every client we had, because you're digital, you're doing their websites, they want to put out their sustainability message. So we were probably like Landor on the front line versus where you get out there very early. It's a very easy way to get a message out. You can see firsthand how sincere some companies were and how some weren't.
Can you just take us through how the attitude and even the degree of discussion of sustainability has changed over the last 10, 15 years in the C-suite?
Yeah. I think this has moved from a, like you were saying, sort of the bolt-on PR campaign, which was just take the $100,000 contribution to XYZ philanthropy and make some news around it, to it's actually integrated into what the companies do. I would say 15% of the world's leading companies actually embrace this as part of their business strategy. So really, leading brands have embraced it as part of the strategy. That's how it's changed. I mean, are we all the way there yet? We're not. There's a long way to go still. There are still a great deal of companies out there who are wrestling with where it fits. So I would say that's part of the answer.
I'm just wondering how much that shows up, that cynicism. It's not like greenwashing necessarily. It's just the cynicism that people have about whether corporations really sincerely mean this stuff. Ever come up in a significant way, or is it just sort of filling out the RFP and saying, yeah, we're good?
Sure, I think it does come up. It gets back again to authenticity as the first measure.
The more we can get people on our teams engaged with what's important to the company, as opposed to just telling them what's important about your DNA, what you believe in as a company, to set up an environment where people feel like they, especially, I know it's not just about millennials, but since you're talking about them, but to have them have not just the feeling, but the true reality that if there's something important to them that can change the company, they have the ability to change it. They're really, let that happen and merchandise it when it does and make it real. And it's not in lieu of a raise. I know you're saying though, but having purpose and having the ability to change is a huge currency right now.
Okay, well listen, I want to thank our panel, our esteemed panel of experts. They're now excellent, all of them.